a very layered and striking and emotive piece that used sort of a supernatural theme and symbolism to reflect a real life trauma and dynamic of inner turmoil. I thought the piece was really great with lighting in particular and mood. It was a very claustrophobic feeling within the setting, and I thought the woman's stress and tension and trauma really played out well. She was quite compelling on screen, and there was a lot of good shots of her up close, a lot of sweaty shots, a lot of panic shots that really created a mood that was hard to shake. And I thought that the ending really made a lot of sense thematically when you see the incubus, who was very striking and very terrifying to see on screen. When you see the concept of sort of sexual assault and rape, and you sort of begin to understand that there's a more of a thematic and symbolic idea of what's going on in her inner turmoil of what's going on, and the pain that she's feeling. It really changes the aspect of horror and what's scary and what's the fear. So I thought it was a really interesting piece that works on a lot of levels depending on how you want to deal with it. And it has basic horror level aesthetics that you would understand, but also deep emotional dynamics that make it work better and have a more well-rounded experience.
Very sobering, um, and gripping, and also excellent cinematography and masterful acting. Oh my goodness. And all of that came together to create a visceral emotional experience that sits with you and sticks to your ribs that you're not going to forget anytime soon. So,
From the CGI graphics for the monster to the incredible performance from the main actress, especially in the scenes where she is kind of in that sleep paralysis, where she can't move her body, she can't really move her face, and all of that deep fear and terror is really just conveyed through the eyes, and then the sounds that she's able to make, but she isn't even really able to open her mouth to vocalize. So I thought that was so incredibly well done. I also thought the way that they told the story and the way that everything unfolded was done in a really smart, really creative way. We kind of, as the audience, got to a little bit play detective, and we were able to put the pieces together as the film went on, with the voicemail, with the pamphlet at the end, and all of these just like little things that tie the whole story together. And I thought it was just so incredibly well done.
I like the concept of a, mental demon becoming a physical one, and this one being specifically derived from sexual assault, and that itself being such a traumatic event, and that being such like an evil event, and that building into this evil creature, and this woman trying to combat it. I like the symbolism within that, and putting it within this very physical representation was really smart. And I think it, to a lot of people who don't fully understand the scope of how traumatic sexual assault can be, I think this is a very poignant way to get that across. So I really commend you for that. I think the actress did a tremendous job in portraying this idea and putting it on film. And I think the pacing of it, not only was it a thriller, but it kind of like got you to your core. You were like, oh, this is bad. But that is like the central point of this piece. So that's a very good thing in this scenario.
The physical manifestation of her trauma being this terrifying, grotesque incubus creature that she can't escape from, that she's powerless against, trapped, paralyzed, helpless, and just, made to wait in terror for it to consume her. I thought that this, and knowing later what it represents, was a really powerful image to show to the viewers, and just to represent this and show them what it feels like to go through this trauma and have that with you for the rest of your life. Thought that was really, really powerful in this film. Everything from the acting to the graphics was done amazing. The creature was terrifying, realistic, looked like a sleep paralysis demon come to life. It was really effective. I myself would have, passed out from fear if I saw that on top of me in the middle of the night. They also did a great job with, I thought, showing the passage of time in this film, the use of the cell phone and the text scrolling across the screen. I've never seen that before. To be used as showing the passage of time, and I thought that was a really great way to do it, and it got the point across. And it was also very eerie just to see those texts go unanswered. And it made the whole film even more heartbreaking to see how many people cared about this woman and loved her and were rooting for her to pull through and were there to support her. And in the end, it wasn't enough.
The idea of an incubus being a metaphorical demon based on real events that happen in your life shows how powerful the mind really is in this film. It shows that this poor girl cannot, despite having pamphlets, pills, cannot get over the trauma of a sexual assault, which is something that society tells women they should, that they can heal from it. This film shows that the demons of it are not something a woman can ever heal from or actually run from. Something very traumatic that happened that will haunt her for the rest of her life. And when her boyfriend calls begging for forgiveness, that's just makes it 10 times worse. Never seen an incubus look the way it did in the film. It was an interesting adaptation of one. I do know they are demons, and the depiction of one is a way to show a metaphorical demon over something horrific that really happened. It's a film that really does show what one traumatic event can do to impact a person's life. It's sad, but it is sometimes the reality of such a horrible thing happening. The film was beautifully constructed. You could feel the girl's trauma, her horror. You could tell she was physically battling within herself until she just couldn't battle anymore. It made it beautifully constructed.
This film is genius. This tiny setting where you are up close with the protagonist and her quest to stay awake, as whenever her time is to go to sleep, she just has the worst time, and it is quite terrifying. The mystery behind that one voicemail and what could have been that terrible thing that this person is talking about, and that's also haunting our main character. It is outstanding visually, and their sound effects, particularly when the monster is around. Obviously, the monster is as well very well done. It's an amazing characterization. We have an excellent performance by the main actress, and she really gets to convey deep fear, terrifying situations, and the audience gets to see behind the veil with this impressive, unexpected end that's just so well made. It is a bit short, but it is quite effective. I had a real fear with everything involved here, and learning what was the cause is just brilliant. This is an amazing film. I really enjoyed it.